If y'all want to keep up to date with what he's doing, his new show just started airing on the Discovery Channel a couple of weeks ago. I've had a chance to catch it out. It's really good. And what I like, Jim, as we welcome you into the show, is it really gives you an idea of your actual involvement. Like, you're not just some Hollywood guy who's set up a farm and gotten a crew to go do everything. You're in there, you're elbow deep, you're ruining shirts because of the dirt you're getting on them. You're talking to plants and you're learning everything about cultivation that you kind of need to know. So give us a rundown if people haven't talked about or seen your Discovery Channel show. What are they going to see when they watch Growing Belushi?
Well, first of all, I'm a Hollywood guy that has turned into a farmer, and the holly is kind of dropped off and it's wood. Farmer, and I am a cross between Elmer Fudd and Billy Murray in Caddyshack. I am like chasing squirrels, gophers, aphids, russet mites. A grasshopper drops on my arm when I'm in the field. I like to have an anxiety attack fit because I'm worried that the grasshoppers start eating these beautiful girls, these ladies that I'm growing. It kind of just happened as an accident, you know. I bought this beautiful property on the river, and the farm behind me came up, and I bought the farm, and I didn't know what to grow. Cattle, alfalfa, should I grow nothing? But then cannabis became legal that year, and I went, well, new agriculture. So I started it as a business with 48 plants. These two guys, Danny Eckert, introduced me to Captain Jack. And then another guy, Jeffrey Iverson, out of Penn, who's a great geneticist with beautiful, beautiful terpenes, very sativa. But the turfs are between 3 and 4% in all their strains. And it's just great flavor. I mean, Oregon's got it's the great state of cannabis.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have something to do while you're not skinny dipping in the river, right?
Yeah, in between the skinny dipping and the sweat lodge. I got a sweat lodge there. But I got into it, and then I got into it. And then I'm in it. I mean, these ladies, these plants, this beautiful plant has dragged me along to enlightenment, growth, grounding, just by working with them, being with them, caring for them, loving them. They love you back. You don't know it, but they do. And I have a relationship with these plants and this farm. That's one of the best relationships I've found in my life.
Yeah, I think anyone who's ever grown a cannabis plant can tell you it's rewarding and it's very addicting, the process of growing it, because it's botany, but at the end you have a product. It's not like a rose where you see a rose, but then what do you do with it? You can just look at it. Whereas this has, that utilitarian.
It has a purpose, a higher purpose. I mean, I play music for the ladies. I got speakers and all the...
And the chime.
I do the chimes. It's turned me into this spiritual creature myself, I mean, I see God in all things now, in trees and a river spirits. And I have a river that we pull the water from. It's almost a perfect pH. I mean, it is like feeding my plants arrowhead water. I mean, it comes crystal clear from the mountain. I've just gotten into this nature thing. It's not even a nature thing. I've gotten into the world. Being in Hollywood, you're in a different world. And you try to stay grounded with family. You do the family things, going to school, the football games, and you work. But, it's a different kind of it's an urban environment, suburban environment, but farm. Wow.
Hey guys, if you want to keep up
right there, I'm mixing the perlite in the soil. I use the rogue soil now, which is really great soil. Great soil. That's made such a difference in the first round of our greenhouse. I'm pruning them underneath to keep the air flowing. I'm keeping the soil at a 64-degree temperature in order for the micronutrients to absorb into the roots better. pulling the roots out a little bit, and the little babies, putting them in very gently. I do it all. Then we harvest. I harvest. I cut. Cut the elbow out, hang it dry 7 days to about, anywhere between 9 and 12% moisture. We pull the moisture out as slowly as possible. The curing is the most important part, really. And we trim it, and I literally load up my cousin Chris's Ford Explorer with, 30 pounds, 50 pounds of pot and all our joints, and we drive to dispensaries and I deliver. And I'm actually doing the metric numbers, I'm checking it in. These guys are like, what are you doing here, man? I said, I'm having fun.
And if you guys want to keep up with what he's doing, guys, belushisfarm.com. Also, feel free to ask questions down below. We'll get to audience questions. I have a handful of questions I want to ask Jim as well. Jim, I know the motivation behind your journey and kind of what led you to this industry, but I know that becoming a grower is something that takes a long time to really get good at. And I saw on Growing Belushi that you had problems with the neeming and the lights and frying and stuff like that. So what are some of the things that have kind of tripped you up along the way in learning this process?
Everything. It's like, God keeps putting these obstacles because there's lessons for me to learn. When am I done learning? But everything. I mean, from dealing with the moisture along the river at times, was really frightening about the mold and the area itself, although the banana belt, that southern part of Oregon, is beautiful for growing pears, grapes, and cannabis because of 292 days of sun. Temperature is really great. Soil is loamy soil, and I mix some of the earth in with the other soil. The water, I mean, it's beautiful, but I lost 300 pounds to mold last year. So did every other farmer in the area. So there's so many things to learn about how to keep it moist, making sure we take things out to keep the airflow. I've made mistakes there. I've made mistakes on so many things. But the one that's in the show is, I got this precious Captain Jack strain. And, the little girls, you do some preventative work and you spray a little neem oil on it. And you're supposed to spray that oil, A, in the dark, and B, don't leave the lights on because they're sensitive, phototoxic. And I sprayed all the plants, and my daughter called, and I got distracted because, I love my girl. She FaceTimed me, right? And I stepped out of the room, and I left the lights on. And in the morning, everything was burnt to a crisp. And Captain Jack was very upset. Thank God we still had some clones from those girls. And, we regenerated it, but that was big. I wouldn't say drama. I would say trauma. But there's so many things. There's just so many things to consider. Even when we're making our joints, it's like I insist that we don't use trim. Everybody else does. I said, I don't care. Let's use the bee buds. But the level of grinding in order for the air to flow. Made mistakes on that. We perfected that. The tapping, everything's hand done. So the tapping of the cannabis in the joint, it's like not tapping too hard in order for it not to compact. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I mean, what part do you want to talk about? The cloning?
It's fun.
Harvesting?
Yeah, I mean, you could go anywhere. It's funny. I mean, I do have to drop a GreenBroz plug every now and then, but GreenBroz is coming out with a precision grinder that's basically going to be grinding flour into like a perfect consistency for pre-rolls. And then to piggyback on that, GreenBroz has partnered with a couple of companies and is going to be bringing some pre-roll machines to market probably late this year.
Waiting for that.
Yeah.
calling forever. I was like, where's the joint machine?
Yeah.
Where is this?
We are getting close. We're waiting for it too. We want you guys to have it. It's close.
I want the prototype. I want the first one.
We've seen some behind the scenes.
GreenBroz trimmer.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it in the Growing Belushi episode, and I geeked out being from the GreenBroz team. I was like, man, there's our baby.
Yeah. It's very good. It's very gentle. Again, that's why I said we keep the moisture about 10 to 12% when we're curing, because in the GreenBroz, that's probably the best moisture level for that beautiful, gentle machine that really helps take off the leaves.
Yeah. It's really interesting too, because it's so area specific. So your humidity in Oregon is different from the humidity in Colorado and the humidity on the East Coast, and how the plant reacts. And so what we're seeing is we have a dozen sales managers across the country, and they all report a different percentage that works well in the machine depending on the area. So people are always asking us for best harvest tips, and it's like you kind of have to
tinker with it to find what works with you. Yeah,
but it's easy to tinker with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a complicated machine, but you do have to tinker with the speed, the moisture. We're finding between 9, even 11%. Don't even have to go up to 12. Is the best, because it's still firm enough and moist enough for when it gently rolls. It's just a perfect machine.
Jim, I want to transition and make sure we talk about the reality series. I guess, what was the impetus behind it? How many episodes are this season? And is it going to be recurring? Like, how far are we going to go down the rabbit hole with this?
Well, I try to bring everything I've learned in my life to each thing I do. I've brought a lot of experience from divorce to the next marriage, and then more and more. And I don't know what's going to happen now, but anyway, I bring all my acting or my singing or my physical things that I can do, my understanding of writing and comedy, to everything I do. Whether it's I do it with a band, what I do in my improv group, or what I do. And so I got to the farm, and I just kind of brought all that stuff, and I brought together everything I do. So I started filming what we were doing. And then all of a sudden, we have something here. We got a nice sizzle reel together. We went out to Live Nation. Michael Rapino is a brilliant man. And I talked about doing this show with him. In 8 minutes, he stood up, shook my hand, and said, "How much do you need?" He financed me. We went to Colombia on the seed hunt on this show. So right now it's on Discovery. You can go to Discovery Go app and get it for free. It's 3 1-hour episodes, actually 42-minute episodes because of commercials. And it was originally 6 1/2 hour. So we had to cut a lot of stuff out in order to make 3 1 hours. So I would consider it like a mini doc series. And there's talk about doing more. So I'm open for the discussion, because I think the cannabis industry, the people in it, and the medicine in it, and the science in it should be explored and seen.
Yeah, that's the part I'm really interested in, because there's this whole... So first of all, I know that it took you a while to get it through the process of creation to where now it's on TV and people are watching it. I know that process is a long time, not only because of the development, but because there isn't necessarily an outlet or a channel specifically for this content of cannabis growing on a farm. And so you're knocking down that barrier, and there are certainly other shows that are trying to do that too.
There's other shows, Murder Mountain that's got some drama in it. I haven't seen it, but there were other shows where it's all of us getting stoned, trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. Nobody's getting high on my show. Mm-hmm. It is about farming. It is about the plant. It is about our industry and what it looks like. And it looks like a very beautiful community. And spiritually, what we're trying to do, and business-wise, and the legislation, the problems we have with, the laws and overcoming those challenges and the science, the testing. I want the audience to see how safe it is and how everything is tested and dosages are controlled. It's not like you're going to buy a brownie from a friend and you don't know how much THC is in it. You don't know, and you can end up on a couch freaking out. This, you know exactly what's in it. People want to have, believe it or not, a controlled experience. You know what you're going to feel like on 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers. You know what you're going to feel like if you have a shot of whiskey, 2 shots of whiskey, a glass of wine. So you make your decision. Sometimes you don't make the best decisions, but you make the decision on what your experience is going to be. And in cannabis, it's difficult to do. So with testing and with dosages, you can start to control your experience. So it's safer.
So Emily, I think we got your question. When's Jim's show coming back? Hopefully soon. Hopefully there's a season 2. Why did you go to the Discovery Channel to produce or distribute the show was another question we got. And I think that's an interesting one because it seems like the way you pursued the content and the presentation seems to fit well with Discovery, where it is very informational and you're learning while you're being entertained. Did that go into it? Because I know that there's a million networks out there and they're a really good one for this forum.
Well, Discovery is a very important network. I mean, they have 80 million plus viewers. You know, it's unbelievable. It's all over the world. And the approach that I took is something that they're interested in. You know, they want to know, people want to know about how you grow, what, you know, the testing. They want to know all that kind of stuff. And what they aren't used to is having a star, you know, do it and putting story and comedy in. So it was a little bit of a stretch for them. It's not a dry show. And when we did the re-editing, there was a lot of discussion on what to keep and what not to keep. And, you know, we lost a lot of stuff that I love, but their audience loves the processing stuff. So I think we did a really good blend of both. And if they want to do another season, like I said, I'm open for it.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like...
Performed very well. We had great success with it. Great comments. Social media just really took to it. The press was great. You know,
it seemed like just the tip of the iceberg, really, of the storylines you could have went into. Not to mention, you could have just done a whole show of just a cannabis farm, not without even you, but adding you into it is pretty good.
I had 29 hours of footage in Colombia that I shot. I could have done a whole episode on just that one farm at Cerro Bravo.
Wow.
What he does with how he creates the soil, the live soil, how they bring the worms in, and then he makes fertilizer and he makes nutrients and the different nutrients and the different strains and the different way they dry, and also about the climate in Colombia is the same year round. They can grow outdoor for 12 months out of the year. I mean, there was a whole, and all we really had in it was like
taste,
40
just a taste.
Walking into it, you know. So we could go back and mind everything we shot and do another 6 episodes.
All right, guys, we're talking with Jim Belushi on GreenBroz Live. Again, don't forget to check out belushisfarm.com. If you missed any part of this episode, you want to rewatch it, IGTV will have this immediately after, and then we'll do an edit for Vimeo, YouTube, and our website. Definitely want to shout out Smokin' Loud's account. He just shouted out our Model M trimmer. He met us out in Detroit a while ago. He's been using GreenBroz machines. Big thanks for that. Next question, Jim, is a mix from, DTM Preciado. I'm trying to say that name right. He asked what strains you grow, but that ties into another question that we got from someone who responded off air earlier and wanted me to ask you. He was out in Michigan. He has a grow and growing dispensary out there, and they want to know, obviously, Blues Brothers products are popular. The Blues Brothers name is popular, especially Chicago, Midwest, your home stomping area. They want to know if you have plans to get into other states, maybe that Michigan, Illinois market, or if you'll be selling Blues Brothers seeds, a branded seed to growers down the line. Give me an idea of what expansion looks like for you guys.
I was in Chicago last week, partnering up with. I'm sorry. I was not in Chicago. I was in Skokie, which is northern Chicago. They've Grassroots. Mitch Kahn started Grassroots. He developed 17 different dispensaries and grows in about 5 different states. And they opened up this state-of-the-art, beautiful dispensary in Skokie, like 15,000 square feet. And I like Mitch. I like how he thinks, and I like his commitment to the message that I believe in, and it's a mission from God, which is the medicine really is where I lay or lie. And so we talked, and we kind of partnered up. And we released the Blues Brothers brand in Skokie last week. So we are in Illinois in one dispensary. I'm kind of a small, boutique kind of guy. I'm not looking to be in 500 dispensaries, and I'm not just licensing my name to make money. I'm really into what's going on here, and Mitch is there too. And we had a huge opening for the Blues Brothers brand. I had the Blues Mobile. We drove up, screeched in, and it was very fun. We also just closed a partnership in Colorado with PGS, which is one of the premier manufacturers and growers of the green solution in Colorado. They have unbelievable farms, which is where I'm interested. I'm really interested in the grow and our capability, our compatibility on nutrients, how we grow, how we trim, how we cure. We're talking to Oklahoma, Arkansas. We're talking to people in Michigan, Canada, Maryland, Massachusetts. And so I'm carefully, slowly trying to find the right partners, because it's more than a business to me. And the worst thing you can do is find a bad partner and move too fast. I've been doing this for 5 years now, so I'm just waiting till now to start bringing up, because I feel very confident about the product and about what we do. Now, of course, you can't bring the same stuff that we grow in Oregon to other states. Can't cross state lines. So there's a lot of study with each of these cultivators about their seeds, what they have similar. Like I like cherry pie. I like something at an 18%, 19% THC with a 3% or more, if possible, terpene values. Hopefully a little CBD, because I think the entourage effect of that is good for me. It doesn't blow my brains out. I still talk. It actually focuses me and actually makes me charming. And I actually call it the marriage counselor, because it really does help you get along.
I imagine that's going to skyrocket in popularity.
I'm looking for strains that have those similar attributes in other states. I've got another, Black Diamond OG, which is a little heavier, but is more indica. But the veterans that I deal with in Oregon, it seems that strain helps them a lot with PTSD, or gentlemen that are paralyzed from the chest down, waist down. They have spasms, and this seems to slow those spasms down, relieve some pain and inflammation. It doesn't cure anything, but it's a pathway to health. So, and then I have the Jeffrey strains, which is bubble mint and lemon chiffon, has really flavorful sativas, But if you got to be careful with that, because if you smoke too much, it's crazy.
Hey, Emily, we saw your question come through. Emily said that she thinks you're having a renaissance in life with this move towards cultivation, becoming a cultivator. And that leads to a different question I had. You've been doing this 5 years plus now. How have you seen this affect you? And how do you think it's going to affect where you maybe saw your life is going at this stage?
Well, I think this is a reinvention of my life. It's put me in a great introspective place, a great place to change, and a realization of the bad choices I've made in my life. So it makes you so compassionate and empathetic, and I see that I've hurt people, and I make amends to them, and I'm on the path of what everybody's on a path for, and that is forgiving oneself. But first you have to learn to forgive people and know what that feeling is like. So when you know what that feeling is like, only then can you start to forgive yourself. So I'm in a whole forgiveness place, an acceptance place of myself. And it's all been because of this journey alongside these ladies. Where do I see myself? I don't know. That's also what it helped me with. Let it roll, baby. Let's roll with it.
Now, I know your buddy Dan Aykroyd has been up to your farm a bunch of times. Big shout out to his Crystal Skull line of vodka. That's just been going gangbusters as far as I know. I know that people, I know personally people that drink it and love it. So what does he say about you growing cannabis and going down this whole venture? Does he want to join you at any point, or is he just...
Danny he's very proud of me. He's in the show, he's very supportive. He introduced me to Captain Jack, because Captain Jack was the weed dealer back in SNL during those days. And he had the greatest creative strain, You know what? You got to excuse me 1 second. I got a problem with my animal.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Jim's got dogs on his property that are always up to no good. Just check out the show. This is a great time to reset, by the way. Belushi'sFarm.com. Guys, I'm trying to get to as many questions as I can. I don't know if I'll get to favorite nutrients or suppliers or anything like that, because I don't know if we want Jim mentioning those as like an endorsement. I mean, it kind of gets into a weird way with that. But big thanks for the questions so far. I want to get to asking how he employs people, if anyone wanted to kind of get up there to try to work with his farm. Thanks to Emily for some killer questions. Guys, again, we'll have this on our Vimeo or YouTube, our website. Again, last couple of weeks of last week and a half of the GreenBroz sale. If you're interested in a Model M dry trimmer, Precision Batcher, Alchemist, hit us up ASAP. September 15th, those promotions go away. It's our first ever machine sale, so we're super stoked to be able to offer that. Was that one of your German Shepherds going crazy, Jim?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a troublemaker. He likes attention, so I had to go calm him down a little bit. What are you doing?
We're just about done. I know you're a busy guy, too, and we're taking up a lot of your time.
No, not at all. I'm sorry, but, children and animals, they take precedent over me.
Yeah, for sure. But I did want to ask you a follow-up to Danny's question. Are you trying to recruit him at all to work on the farm? Has he ever done anything green thumb in his days?
Danny is extremely knowledgeable about any subject you want to talk about. He has a mind just filled with information and knowledge and wisdom. I turn to him all the time. He's like a brother. He's a blues brother. We've been doing the Blues Brothers for 25 years together. He's been on the farm, but he doesn't put his hands in the soil, but he lives on a farm himself up in Canada. So he's very aware of, horticulture and agriculture. He's quite a great friend and partner.
Jim, anyone who's ever grown an operation to your size knows labor is something that you deal with that can be mind-numbingly frustrating. And then you're also out in a rather remote part of Oregon where it's not like very densely populated. What kind of issues do you have with getting labor in, people working on your farm? Are you taking applications from people all over the country who might want to work with you?
We have a terrific local crew. Over the last 3 years, people have come in and out, and then now we've really got an ensemble, like I would say in acting, an ensemble theater where people are supporting each other and play to make each other win. We have a crew now that are lovely. They laugh. They do a wrapping trip. We have pizza. We throw little parties, like a screening party. Beautiful, spiritual, tough-ass woman, Amanda Welch, who is basically leads our barn and all the product and where it goes. And she's quality control. And then we got Anthony, who's our grower, who is out in the field with Jose and Trevor. And they and me are in there plucking and putting trellis up, making sure the girls are great. And then my cousin Chris, who's in the TV show, he's just supervises it all. He is, we're putting irrigation in here. It's just beautiful right now. Everything is running very smoothly, and the quality of cannabis that we are growing right now, I will compete with anybody in the state. And that's a big thing to say, because cannabis is a great state. Oregon is a great state of cannabis, and also Northern California, because Northern California, about 20, 30 miles above me, it's the same parallel that goes across Indiana, Illinois, the great agricultural spots in our country, but also goes all the way to Bordeaux and Burgundy. So we are, Northern California and Southern Oregon should be its own region, state of cannabis. And it goes right down to Napa. From Napa, where the great grapes are grown. And there's great grapes grown in Oregon, too. Pears. So that, I just fell into this most beautiful spot in the world for growing. So anyway, we're really happy with our product right now. Really, really happy.
Jim, just another question or two. How does the hustle and bustle of a Hollywood set, be it TV or movie, compare with the hustle and bustle of a busy time in grow season, or the reward you get after grow season?
I don't know. I'm the same guy in both. So I have a kind of a strong drive. It's the same. There's more people maybe in filming. You got a bigger crew.
If you were to win an award for growing, would that kind of stack up with like an award as like an actor?
I'm not into awards.
Oh, okay.
Awards are all about politics, and it's not all. Some of them are altruistic, which I believe in, but awards are weird. Even those guys that win Academy Awards, they all say, I'm standing up here with the 4 other people in my category, and how do I win? There's Robert De Niro. So it's really hard to put a winner on performance because it's so personal. And how do you win an award with cannabis? Everybody's growing with the best intentions, with their heart, and with the mind to the mission from God, the medicine. I don't know. I don't want any awards.
That's a great way to say it. I love that. So last question before we get you out of here, and we'll certainly love to have you back when you have big announcements or anything. We want to share them with our audience. But what's the best way for people to keep up with your growing side of what you're doing and those projects?
Well, I don't know. You should follow the Instagram account because I think we got some really kind of funny stuff on it, and we do announce things there. My nephew, social media guy, he's really kind of steered me straight. And he films me doing stuff, captures funny stuff. I go, I didn't even know you shot that. So he's got a really great sense, Luke. And we're having fun with that. It's kind of funny because it's like creative movies, TV, and Instagram. So everything kind of comes together from here. Also, Belushi's Farm website does keep the announcement, all the press that they do, photographs, where you can purchase Belushi Farms products in Oregon. And soon we'll have where you can purchase it in Colorado and Chicago. So that's the only way I can think of, really. And, maybe the TV show will do more exploring.
That sounds good, man. Well, Jim, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. You're wonderful.
Thanks. Someone thinks so. No, I'm just kidding. I got to get your shirt size, by the way, because we want to send you some of these new GreenBroz shirts.
Oh, those are cool. I should send you a Belushi Farms one.
Oh, I would love it. And I can start wearing them on the show.
That is pretty. That's a great design.
Yeah, we sourced some local artwork from this guy out in Colorado who does amazing work.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, we should link you guys up. You guys get some really cool artwork done, too. I'm sure you'd love it.
Yeah, well, we're going to Colorado, so...
Yeah, very interesting. We'll talk about that later, but thank you so much, man.
All right, say
we
hi to
appreciate it.
Marco and call in and tell them, they have all my love.
We will.
And Keone, tell them, give them my love. I love everybody at GreenBroz, and I'm grateful for their support in the early years with me and helping me and teaching me.
Sounds good. Hey, ongoing support, too. We're here for you, man, and anytime we get new machines, you're definitely going to be high on our list to get them out to you. I'll check on that rolling machine, and we'll get you updated on it.
I want that. Come on, man. Sing a leg.
Sounds good. Bye, Jim. Everybody have a good day. We'll follow up with you all offline. Bye.
Thank you so much.